So we welcome each and every one of us to this session. While we try to also wait for orders by in the next 2 to 3 minutes, we'll start. Our facilitator is already on hand here. He has joined the call already, and we hope that we'll have a very wonderful session today. So please let us exercise some patience while we try to allow others to join the meeting. Thank you. All right, thank you very much for your patience. And as we start the training, we welcome everybody, all our esteemed customers who have joined this webinar today. I welcome you to the Genex product expose. And then we also have we also are going to be talking about a very, very serious topic today, and we hope that you are going to enjoy it as you listen in. So, thank you very much for your patience. Today, just like I said, that we'll be discussing safety practices for renewable energy system installers. So in everything we do, and most especially because we are dealing with electricity, energy, we understand that safety is very important and safety is first, even in everything. So they will be exposing us to some of the practices and tips that we need to ensure or to act to actually do, in terms of what we do and installations that we also carry out. So today our facilitator is no other person than Oladimeji Olanrewaju. Oladimeji Olanrewaju is actually the manager, project and procurement of Genex Technologies. And speaking to you from here is Mark Ugu. I'm actually going to, be standing in for Vincent as the moderator for today's webinar. So briefly, for those of us who are not used to Genex as a company, we just want to briefly, talk about Genex. The Genex, of course, is a leading renewable energy company in Nigeria that deals with sales and distribution of solar products, ranging from inverters, hybrid smart inverters from 1 kVA, 3 kVA, 5 kVA, 10 kVA, and like that. Quality solar panels, such as Canadian solar panels, Jinko solar panel. So presently those are the two that we have in our product line. We also have smart lithium batteries, lithium batteries, SVC lithium batteries that are of high quality. We also have AGM batteries now in stock, and a host of other products, LED lights, solar fans, anything that is actually renewable that makes us achieve the green efficiency. That's what GenX actually stands for. We also do residential, commercial, C&I solar solutions to our customers, and our installations actually speak for itself. And more importantly, too, we have a solar academy, Genex Solar Academy, that holds about twice, 2 to 3 times every year. So we have about two sessions every year. One just wrapped up last Saturday, and it was very, very intriguing. Feedbacks actually shows that students who pass through this academy, go forth to do well within the industry. So if you have people you want to recommend to attend the academy, it's a very viable recommendation that you are going to be doing there. So Um, so right about now, I'm going to actually hand you over to the facilitator of today's webinar, who is no other person than Oladimeji Olaruwaju. Please, let's make him welcome. And as I pass the microphone to him. So, Mr. Olaruwaju, please, you can unmute.
Thank you very much, Mark. Good morning, everybody. I believe you guys can hear me. Mark, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you clearly.
Okay, awesome. So this morning we'll be talking about an area of our job as an installer or as a major player in the renewable energy industry. That is very, very important to us. Although it's not something that is much talked about, I think most of us leave this aspect to because we are majorly of
He beats me too. No going.
and we also from our own end need to take conscious efforts to make sure that our work environment, our workspace where we work is a safe space. So this is what we'll be talking about for the next 30 to 45 minutes. And so in our space in the solar industry, what are the concerns that we face? And if you look at this holistically, there are 5 major areas where we really need to focus on, and that's where uh, uh, risk assessments are being done. So as an installer, we need to look at 5 major areas where we need to have control measures on. And number one, that is an injury to your clients caused by direct or indirect contact with electricity. As you know that our job majorly has to do with providing power to the community. So at a point through our workspace, there is contact with electricity. And how do you make yourself, are your client at risk? We need to consider that, and also injury to persons caused by working on solar or electrical installations. You as an installer, what are the risks associated with you working for your clients? Then, third one, unintended initiation of explosion. How well, when you're working, can you just cause an explosion? Because these are the possible things that happens on sites. As you know, we have in so many areas, we've had over the years, where on social media, where you have sudden explosions from the site, and risks like that are what we need to assess and know how to mitigate them. And the fourth one is unintended operation of the system. So what happens if you have a solar system or an inverter system installed at a client's house? Let's assume your client just ignorantly or out of no knowledge operates the system in a certain way. What happens? Does it cause an explosion? Does it cause fire? Does the entire equipment or the inverter goes bad? Those are part of the health and safety issues that we need to look at while we do our work. And also occurrence of uncontrollable fire. That's even very, very important, because there is fire associated with what we do. Explosions can occur. Fire can come out at any time due to what we do. So we'll be looking at what are the risks and the injuries that you can face as an installer. The risk and injury that you can face as an installer. And there are so many risks associated with you during solar rooftop installation. There are trips, there are falls. You can fall from high heights. And so what happens when you fall? From the man in this picture, the way it's going down like this, it's a calamity already. So anything can happen while you are installing your solar panel, while you are moving material or solar panels from the ground floor to the roof. There are risks associated with all these things. And what happens if you fall from a considerable height or in a bad manner? There is risk of serious injury or risk of death. So these are the risks associated with working on heights, trips. You can miss your step, and if you are not properly secured, you trip and you fall. So these are risks associated with working as an installer on solar installation. Then also, electrical shocks from existing utility installations and ladder scaffold installation. There are shocks anywhere if you are connecting or installing your inverters, installing a whole system where you need to connect maybe the grid or the generator to your system. You come in contact with live supply, live equipment from the utility supplier. And if you are not properly secured or properly safe, you might get electrocuted. And also, if you are using ladder in some area, maybe you are trying to move ladder and for instance, out of accidents, your ladder touch a live wire, then if the ladder is a metal ladder, which in many cases we use the metal ladder, then there is the risk of electric shock. So and as well as scaffold. Yes, scaffold, it's meant to get you to the very high points. And when you do that, the higher you go, the chance of getting in contact with live cables for all these utility suppliers is very high. And instances like this, I think there is a site very close to us here. Once if you stretch a ladder or a metal object just above where maybe 10 meters without even touching anything, you get electrocuted. You get a shock that there is a live equipment around that place. So these are the risks associated with us working as an installer, working and delivering solar installations for our clients. Then strength and sprains from lifting. As you know, most of the equipments we installed are heavy equipments. You have the solar panel, not that it's only heavy, it's also large. And also, when you're dealing with the batteries are heavy. You're dealing with the deep cycle batteries, you're dealing with the lithium ion batteries, you're dealing with the wet batteries. These are heavy batteries that requires technique or equipment to move around. But because maybe we're trying to cut costs as business owners, or we're trying to yes, cut as the installer. We try as much as possible to most time do all these things by ourselves, and it has a way of causing injury. We might not know now because we feel like we are still agile and all, but these are things that shape the kind of future or the kind of later life that we're going to have. You don't want to. Some injuries are not going to just come now because well, we are still young and agile. Some, once you start approaching maybe 50, 60, you start feeling it, you start feeling pains, you start feeling all those pains around your pelvic area and all. So heavy lifting, strains, these are injuries that we are prone to as an installer as well. Then the last but not the least, installation during rain or hot weather. There are risks associated with working in extreme conditions as well. We're working during the rainy season, there is risk of trips because if you're trying to install solar panel on the roof, and you know, some of these roofs are slippery when it rains, and if you're not properly secured, then you're going to just have a snapshot, just like the picture you are looking at now. Then hot weather, there are instances where you work in hot weather and the roofs are extremely hot. You might get burnt if your body touches maybe the roofing sheets or the metal iron while working on the roof. So these are risks I shared with we as an installer, and these are the risks that we need to be conscious of and also plan towards. Next slide, please. So also in consideration, we also need to put in consideration our clients. What are the risks that is open to contact with our clients? What are the injuries that can our solutions can cause to our clients? And that is direct contact with solar DC voltage, voltage from inverter, sparks from accessible battery terminal. If there are no tidy installations, maybe you see wires flying up and down, cables not well treated, not well covered, you know, anything can come in contact with any metallic or a metal object, and when the people in the house are trying to move around and they touch all these things, they get the shock. So, and also voltage from the inverter. There are some of these DC voltage are even high voltage. Most of the inverters out there now, they are high voltage DC input from the solar panel. So these are risks to your clients. And also sparks from accessible battery terminal. The way you position your batteries at times, if you are using deep cycle batteries or the wet cell batteries, two terminals if they accidentally, if they are breached together, you know how it causes a fireworks. You know how it causes the fireworks, and it can even cause a damage if not careful. So the way we position our battery, is this something that can just be accessible by our clients, or maybe by any accidents? Anything can happen. What if, and you know, just from your experience, you know that once you leave, you are done with the installation. Once you're done, if you go back there in let's say 2 or 3 months, a lot of things are already on the battery. You see so many things, crate of this crate of egg, carton of this, carton of that. They start putting everything up because they try to maximize every space as available. So, and those are not good acts, but because you are not living with them, anything can happen. So we have to design and design for the worst, like design for dummies. So you assume that what's the worst thing that can happen, and those are the things that we need to consider when designing our systems for our client, because you don't want client to just move a metal chair that is backing your battery, your battery and inverter. Just move it towards your battery and there's the fireworks. So all those planning and installation plans are very, very necessary during installation. Then indirect contacts on water strip voltages in fault situation and lightning strikes. Some people, you can't even just go and open their fridge anyhow. If you touch it, you get shocked. If you touch their freezer, you get shocked. You can't even touch because the electrical equipment in the house are not well added. So in instances like that, if there are stray voltages, yeah, if your installation is not tidy enough, and there are wires, open cables, contact with maybe other metal objects or other cables, there are possibilities that your clients can get electrocuted or get electrical shock. And these are the things that we should avoid. I mean, electrical shock is not even if it's not going to kill you, it's not something that it's a painful experience. It's a painful experience. So you don't even want it to happen. So the third one, isolation and operating procedure. At times when we are not with our clients and we want to let them, maybe there is an instance where they need customers support and all, and they call and they need to operate this even before they call. What happens if your clients suddenly turn off maybe a breaker or turn off the inverter? Does the inverter go bad? So all those operating procedures, operators need to know the procedure to operate the system. We need to educate our excuse me, we need to educate our clients. Because for instance, now let's assume you have a full inverter system and your client just turn off if the client is not using the batteryless or battery independent inverter, and the client just turn off the battery breaker, there is possibility that the inverter can go bad. Or let's say the charge controller also, if there is supply from the sun and you turn off the battery breaker, there is tendency that the system can go bad as well. So all these operating procedures that could cause harm needs to be addressed and carefully communicate. You communicate this carefully to your clients. Fire. So then fire, incorrect cable installation, DC hacking from solar, using poor cable sizing and poor product quality. Fire can come from anything, anywhere. And most importantly, we have to narrow it down to what we do. Most times is on poor product quality and poor cable sizing. When, let's say, a battery cable when you have when you use a cable of 6 mm where you ought to have used, let's say, 16 mm cable. If the cable, once the cable cannot carry the intended load on it, then it started to get hot. And that is the start of fire. When it gets to a point where you can't hold it anymore, then it catches fire. And those are things that we need to look at carefully so that we keep our clients safe, we keep our installation safe, and also we keep ourselves as an installer safe. So next slide. So another area is fire. Fire. What causes fire? Design flaws. If your design is not right, inverter sizing, solar sizing, battery sizing, cable sizing, if your design is not right, but most importantly, if your cable sizing is not right, there is tendency that your system is prone to fire. And we need to be conscious of that to avoid anything that can cause fire. Then product or component defects. If the inverter should go bad, or there is tendency that it can cause fire. If you install bad components, let's say an inferior breaker or something, it could catch fire. So those are areas that we need to look at carefully. If you are trying to save maybe 500 naira, 1,000 naira on a breaker and something, and you get a cheap product, it can mess up your whole installation. And it's not good. While you're trying to save, ignorance on safety is even more costlier than you on the money that you are going to spend to rectify that. Then faulty installation, anything can go wrong at any time. So we need to be prepared for that. Lightning strikes, as you know, lightning comes with its own over voltage. So what happens when it comes? Does it get trapped in the inverter? Do you have a good earthing system that passes it down? Or does the whole building catches fire?
Yeah, I'm trying to think. How you
Overloading. When you overload system too, there is tendency of fire coming out too. If you overload the cable now, if you overload the cable will continue to get hot and it would catch fire. Low quality product. So if this is also a very, very important area that we need to look at. If you are using inferior products, there are tendency that products catch fire as well. Most importantly, before now, there is accommodation now. For instance, if you are using a lithium battery that is of low quality, lithium battery is made of components that if it catches fire, it's very destructive. Prior to now, if you want to quench a fire that is being caused by lithium, it doesn't even respond to water and all. So it takes a lot of water for you to actually take out lithium fire. So before the technology improved, before they improved the technology about on the lithium batteries generally, like 2, 3, 4 years ago, if a lithium battery should catch fire, it will cause serious fire and burn down the building. And that's because most times then it's caused by poor quality control on of the battery. But now the system has been designed in such a way that before it can catch fire, you probably must have messed with it a lot. But that doesn't rule out the fact that there is tendency of lithium ion batteries now catching fire. And if it does catch fire, it's brutal. Some of the Tesla products that first came out then caught fire on lithium. The car caught fire, and the fire service tried to put out the fire. They couldn't. They had to call Tesla, and it was Tesla that guided them on how they would disconnect the battery, disconnect the cable before they could take out the fire. So lithium fire is a very, very destructible fire. And by all means, you want to avoid that. You don't want a situation where your clients, you burn your product or your installation burns down your client's property. So getting a very good product is very, very important. So next slide. How do we keep everyone safe? So what should we do in instances I've mentioned above? What do we do? So for an installer, proper safety training for installers and project managers. I know we don't do this, as in, let me not generalize, but I know 80% of us don't do this. 80% of businesses and installers don't do this because we put everything in the hand of God. Yes, God is going to do his own part, but we need to do the talking. We need to do the safety training. What are the risks associated with what we are doing? And everybody has to be aware. Everybody has to be aware, so that because if ignorance is not going to bring back anything that is gone, you can't. If you lost a arm now, lost a leg, you won't say because you said you did not know your arm is going to come back. It's gone for life. So it's very, very important. We as a business owner, we do our risk assessments, look at what we need to do to mitigate the risk, and inform all stakeholders, all people, all installers and all staff that will be working on the project. These are the risks that we'll be facing, and this is what we'll be doing to mitigate the risk. Then use of PPEs is very, very important. Use your protective gears, your helmets. If you are going on the rooftop, your helmet, your care muff, your gloves, your safety boots. These things are not just there. They are there to keep you safe. I know we try to cut costs in terms of minimize overheads. Safety should not be compromised. Safety should not be compromised at all, because if you look at the costs that it takes you to get these things, and the cost associated with you, if you get injured now and you need to treat yourself, if you look at the cost, it's not the same. You will definitely pay more. Safety is more. If you don't plan to get yourself safe, it costs more than you getting all your PPEs and all. Use proper installation tools and equipment. If you need scaffold to get to the height that you need, rent a scaffold. All you just need to do from your assessment, from your site assessments, you know that for this height you are going, you need to use a scaffold. Add the cost to your quotation so that the client who needs a service is going to pay for it. Nobody wants a disaster or calamity on his own site. So if you need a scaffold, get a scaffold. If you need a ladder or you need other equipment, get it. I know as an engineer, we engineers, we have, let me say, crazy ideas when it comes to innovations and all. But I've also seen, on the other hand, most of them are good. I've also seen on the other hand too that we've got crazy ideas when it comes to doing our jobs too. I think there was a picture going around sometimes where some guys that are trying to install solar panels just put together ladder in a funny shape to get to the rooftop. And you would wonder that any small clip like this, both the ladder, the owner of the ladder, and the people holding the ladder downstairs, everybody is going down. And those are the risks that we take, and I don't think it's worth it. If you need an equipment, do your assessment, add it to your quotes, and send out the quotes. You don't need to cut costs on all those things. It's a risk of life. The risk of life. Then stay hydrated. If you are working, as you know, we are in a high temperature region. If you're working during the sunny period or during the sunny period, you go up there on the roof, it's hot. Make sure that you are hydrated, you have a lot of water, you drink water, you take fluid, you have food, so that you don't get tired easily. It's very important for your health and also to keep your energy intact. Also, avoid working on wet rooftop surface. Try as much as possible. Once you notice that it's raining, stop work. You can always continue. It's never a good idea to work when it's raining. Number one, you are dealing with something that produces electricity. If anything happens, like maybe there is a lightning strike now, there is tendency that there will be connection somewhere, and it's not safe. And also there is risk of falling, trips, slippery surface, and it's not good. Nobody, if you tell your clients that if you can't finish it up because it rains, I think a reasonable person is going to understand. So don't let us force things that are detrimental to our own health and also to the people we are working for. Then rest when you are tired. It's very, very important. You are tired, take a rest. Take a rest, because if you are tired, if you're on the rooftop and you're tired, you're feeling sleepy, you've lost energy. If there is anything, if you have a sleep or there is a miscalculated step, perhaps if you have the energy, you can still struggle to hold yourself. But if you don't have the energy anymore, so that way you're just going down. If you're not properly secured, you're going down. And when you're tired, your brain start to shut down as well. So that's when you notice that when you're tired, you're trying to knot a battery terminal or something, and you forgot, you do this. And during that period, you are prone to mistake. And if you commit any mistake that can cause catastrophe, then it's not good. So if you're tired, take a rest and you continue to finish your job. Next slide. So for your clients, use proper installations and enclosures. There is nothing, before your clients will even test your installation or will even know if your installation is working or not. The first thing they will see is the way your installation looks. The way your installation looks. You need to have a very neat installation, tidy installation that anybody feels they can go near it. If you tidy your cables, no loose cables. At times, when you see some installations and when they even come to claim warranty, it's very difficult because everything is just clumsy. From just mere looking at it, it looks like a mess already. And areas like that, even if anybody can go near places like that. There are children in the house. If they go near it, what will happen? So have a proper insulation, enclosures for your breakers, rubber tapes to tape or open cables and all. Tidy installation, tidy up your cables, and use proper cable codes. I've gone to a site where all the cables used on that site for the inverter connection, everything is red cable, red. No color coding, nothing. The live red, the neutral red, the earth red. So before you even now start looking at, you need to do a lot of work to isolate which one is the earth, which one is the neutral. And that's a very, very poor design. So do the right thing. The proper color coding as to standard, proper installations and enclosure for your breakers. Then install safety barriers. You can, if you let your clients know this area is just let them keep this area off. If you need to do a gate to your installation space, tell your client to do it. If he has to be in a room, tell your client that you need a separate room for your installation. It's just to keep everybody safe. If perhaps you lose your clients, you won't get another referral. Implement proper signage and labeling. Just like the image you are seeing in front of you, danger, you just put notices, high voltage, don't come near this, all those things. Let them know that nobody will see that and will go near it. We need to inculcate that into our installations. Then install proper heating system. This is very, very important. If anything should happen, that prevents, even if there are leakage somewhere and not, if you have proper heating, prevents your client from getting electrical shock or getting electrocuted. Then isolation and operating procedures. Train all operators. If you feel like tell your clients, everybody that will be operating the system, give them proper training. I know some of us will just finish installation and go. it's part of your service, it's part of the delivery of your service. Once you're done with an installation, call them, train them on how to operate it. If you need to leave a leaflet in operations to operate the system, leave them a leaflet. You can do a summary of how, if you want to reset the system, this is what you're going to do. Then you may turn off this breaker first, turn off this one first, turn off this one first. If you need to do a hard reset or you need to turn off the system, this is how you can do a short leaflet to give to your clients, or you train your clients on what to do when there are these frequent scenarios, frequent error or warning faults. What do you do? Let your client know. Train everybody that will be working, that will be operating the system. Then ensure there is emergency control. If there is say there is a fire outbreak now, what happens? There should be breakers, there should be arrestors. Make sure that your installations have all those control measures. You have your output breaker. Let's say there is a short circuit in your breaker now. What happens does it just go into your inverter? If you have an output breaker there, if there is a short circuit from the load side, then your breaker trips. Your breaker trips. If there is something from the input too, if you have a breaker there, it should trip. So that's the essence of all these emergency controls. When you have controls that stand in between of every input and every output, then at least to a reasonable extent, if there's an emergency, there are some things that would cut the connection. Then provide fire extinguishers, just in case if fire should come on. How do you take it out quickly? You might not be the one to provide it. Tell your client to provide fire extinguisher. There are different types. The ball type, the ones that, and let it be the one that is suitable for inverter batteries and solar panels, all those ones. Then preventing fire and explosion, good designs and cable sizing. Cable sizing, most importantly, because I know that some of our installers, some of us come short on cable sizing. I don't know, maybe because we don't know why, or because we're trying to cut costs. But most importantly, areas where fire comes in the most is when cable gets hot, and they get hot to a point, they catch fire. They burn and they catch fire. And if there are flammable materials around that place, it catches fire as well. So proper cable sizing, good design is important to avoid fire and explosion. Install isolation controls, like I mentioned the other time. Install breakers, excuse me, surge arrestors and all. Proper technical training for installers. Conducts continuous training for our installers. This is part of what we are doing now, to let our installers know what's out there, because the way technology and it's moving rapidly, things change rapidly. So all installers has to be at the they have to be at the edge of and in the forefront of all this. So you need, if the embracement of lithium is the of the day now, train
Very
your
welcome.
installers on how to manage, how to install that. If new technology should come, let your installers be well trained, and all the regular maintenance. Let's conduct maintenance on this, and all our installations to prevent, so you can only detect if there is a problem ahead of time. Use of high quality products, very important. saves you stress, gets you referrals from your customer. Your customer has a longer and enjoyable service delivery. Proper lighting in case of lighting. Then install safety equipment like fire extinguishers. So those are the things that we need to prevent fire and explosion. Then next slide. And while I was preparing for this slide, I came up with this, and that's the quote for today, the word for today. Every panel you install lights a home. Every safety measure you take ensures that you return to yours. It is very, very important. While you're trying to do your business, light a home, you are able to return to yours as well. You are loved at home. Please don't take unnecessary risk. All these safety measures at times, all we just need to do is talk about them, put them in place. If you feel, we all have all these things where you know that this thing I'm about to do it's not. If you have that thought, then it is not. It is not. So while you are trying to provide solution for people, please remember that you have people at home. You have people that loves you, your wife, your children, your brother, your family. They all need you. So while you're providing lights to people, your safety ensures that you also come back to yours. So that's my quotes. You can feel free to use it. And that brings us to the end of the webinar today. Any questions?
Yeah, hello, good morning.
Good
All
morning.
right, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mr. Oladimeji, for that very insightful and very wonderful webinar. It's a very big one that we need to continue to always talk about on a daily basis, because safety is also something that that we do every day. So we need this to always come on a regular basis. So thank you very much for espousing and sharing more on safety practices that we need to do as installers. So please, if you have any question, please use the raising of hand emoji on your on your on your dashboard there. So please just click on the raise hand from your end, and we are going to see it here, and we'll take it according in that order. So please, or if you are not even able to do that, you don't want to speak, you can drop your questions on the chat box as well. So let's have those who are raising up. Let's see. Let's see questions, contributions. Okay, so Mr. Ola, can you? Somebody actually is asking that can you mention some of the PPE one can use while on the roof? You know, some of the PPEs one can use while on the roof. So let me mute so that you can respond to that, and then we'll take others as a comment. Thank you.
Okay, so PPEs that you need. First, you need your overall to cover you from any burns from your body getting in contact with the roofing sheets. You need your helmet in case of fall. It is very, very important. I don't even think you should climb any roof without helmets. And you need safety gloves because you'll be working on the roof. And most importantly, most importantly, you need your safety shoe to prevent you from slips, and also you need your harness. Harness holds you on the rooftop. So if probably there is an instance where you are falling, so your harness holds you in place. It holds you in place. So you need your if from the so you need your helmet, your overall, your safety gloves, safety shoe, and also your harness. That's the one I can remember for now, but definitely those ones that are visible and very important for you to have.
All right,
Okay, so
thank
you
you very
can
much
see
for your
here.
question. So I have Mr. Temitope Emmanuel. I've actually asked you to unmute, so please unmute and ask your question. You have the floor.
Yeah, thank you. Good morning.
Good morning.
And thanks for this webinar. It's very insightful. Please, I really want to ask this. Yeah, I know the usefulness of um, fire extinguisher, but knowing fully well that it's not all facilities or properties that do have that in place. However, is it a must that as a solar inverter installer that we quote that, we put that in our quote? Is it a must? One. Two, if we can actually advise customer to buy or to get that ready, knowing fully well that fire extinguisher is not what you just buy and leave for forever until an incident occur. You know, it has time whereby you need to be maintained, the content need to be changed, which also a cost effective on the customer's end. So what will you advise to how to go about it? One, are we to quote it or put it in our quote for the client, or is just our role to advise the customer to get it for preventive measure? Thank you.
Thank you very much. Well, personally, from my own opinion, there are two ways for you can address this. First is you quoting for it, but personally, the way I see all this is because it's not your field. It's just a recommendation for your client. So why add to your burden already? There are specialists in that area. Let them handle it. So what I would advise is just let it be known to your client that these are the requirements. Because we are having this equipment here, you need to put the fire extinguisher. Possibly it depends on the capacity of what you are installing. If it's a small capacity, just like the fire extinguisher we have in our cars, you know, it's not a big one, but it's something that is that's affordable, I think. So advise your client to get it. Then the maintenance is not something that happens frequently. I think some is once in every 6 months or so, or twice in a year. So safety won't tell you when it's going to be needed. Just like when you see a car burning, you understand, and you see people pulling out fire extinguishers from everywhere, and you see the fire gone in no time. That's because we've prepared for it. That's because we've prepared and we have fire extinguishers around. Now compare it to when you see people running around with a bucket of water, sand, and no. The fire don't go away easily. So you make recommendations. Although I know some clients are adamant that we just say they are going to handle it, but at least from your own end, you know that you make that recommendation. But most importantly, I'm going to advise that you let the client get it done by himself or herself. You need a fire extinguisher. Maybe you should call this, if you have a contact, let them supply the one that is suitable for the kind of job that we do, the kind of equipment we are installing. I hope that answers your question.
Yeah,
Okay,
thank you.
thank you very much. Thank you.
Hello.
we have another question here, and the question is actually saying, can you provide us with a guide on correct cable sizing? I think this is for you.
Um, Cable sizing, because there are different cables across different type of cables that you use. The electrical cable, the DC cable, all those cables are different, and they requires sizing. And sizing is a form of you look at what is going to. It's just like you want to buy 5 liter 5 liter petrol now. So if you want to go get it at the filling station, what container, what jerry can, what size of jerry can do you need to take along? You know for sure that you need at least a 5 liters jerry can to buy a 5 liters petrol. If you use the 10 liters jerry can to buy a 5 liters petrol, it's still okay, because you still have more capacity to buy more if you decide to. But imagine that you want to buy a 5 liters and you went with a 3 liters or a 2 liters. That's where the sizing comes into play. So you look at what is going to pass through the cable, the total current that will pass through the highest current that can pass through the cable. Then there are cable charts. Apart from the quality of the cable itself that you need to know, that you need to be conscious of, you need to look at the current. There is a chart online, you can always get it online, that tells you for a 16 mm DC cable, there is a capacity of current that it can take. So when you look at that, when you are able to identify the maximum current that can pass through your design, then also you know the length of what you, because as the length of how the cable is running increases, then you need to increase the gauge as well, because there will be losses across the length. So you need to increase the gauge. So all these things, there are charts online that you can use once you know the maximum current passing through your cable.
All right, thank you very much. So I think that Total Logic was trying to speak at the time. So please, can you unmute yourself, sir? And let's hear you. Thank you.
Yeah, in the form of acting in the house. If at all the client doesn't have the thunder arrestor on the roof, it's still compulsory for us to recommend to him that he should install the thunder arrestor, or you eventually find out that the acting system in that house is not proper. It's not even protecting the device.
See, anything you install, anything you have thunder arrestor, surge arrestor, if you install any of these things and you have a bad earthing, none of it is going to work, because all of these things depend on a good earthing. It's when a thunder arrestor arrests the thunder voltage, and it's going to pass it. It's not going to hold it forever. It's going to pass it through the earthing to the ground. So if the earthing is not good, then the whole system is useless, because if it can't go to the ground, then it's going to go somewhere else, and that's where you find your earthing into your device, and you hear a loud bang. So it's very good for us to recommend to our clients to install all these measures to make sure that the safety is there for the equipment, for the client themselves, and also for your own installation.
Thank you very much for that. Another question here actually says, Another question here actually says that, can you educate us on a specific type of fire extinguisher? I think you have touched on this before. Fire extinguisher to be used in case of a fire on our PV installation.
Yeah, I think
I think
I've talked about that
I think
already.
you have talked about you have touched on this before now. Okay, so the next question here is saying, is it better to run earthing cables across the panels directly to the earthing rod, or simply use DC SPD, that's surge protective device that connects the earthing to the DB earthing bus bar? Which is better?
No, we always advise that for the solar heating, if you are running your heating, you run it separately, because you are dealing with different voltage type. But even with that, because there is tendency that the connection from outside, let's say there is a thunder strike now. Instead of it going inside your DB, why can't it just go directly down? So what we do at Genex, if we are doing earthing for the solar, we run it directly to the ground, separately from the house earthing. So it's more advisable for you to run if you are earthing your panels, earth it and let it run separately outside.
Thank you very much. And then last on the chat box here for now, we have, can you give us list or guide of good and quality lithium LFP, that's like PO4 batteries with good warranty and durability considering the volatile nature of lithium, right?
Okay, so I may not be able to give lists, but one thing I'm sure of is that Genex sells lithium battery that is of high quality, and I can guarantee you that they have high quality. They come with 5 years warranty, and they are durable. So be rest assured that you are getting a quality system. This has been tested, and I can assure you that. So if you are in need of lithium batteries, although the technology generally, I'm from my standpoint, I was talking about the technology generally. So it's different from when we use the lithium ion. Now that we have redesigned systems, redesigned technology, it's more safer. But that doesn't rule out the possibility of catching fire, because there is still lithium inside. And if a lithium should catch fire, I tell you, it will be difficult to put out. So most importantly, you have battery, you have BMS systems, you have lithium batteries with BMS systems. So these are battery monitoring systems that allows you to manage. The BMS manages the operation of the battery, the charging system, the discharge system, so that in terms of, there are also controls on these devices that controls that monitor the temperature, monitor the discharge, to avoid all these things. So a proper designed battery, a proper quality battery shouldn't give you that if it's well designed. So I can guarantee that Genex SVC lithium battery will give you the quality you want.
Thank you very much. With this question, we have come to a wrap of this session, as we do not have any other questions on the board right now. So we thank you, our facilitator, for actually coming up yet with the presentation and what all that you have explained. It's quite it's an eye opener, and the questions have been also insightful, and we I'm sure that we have learned one or two to add to our knowledge, right now. So we appreciate all our participants as well, customers who are on the call, new people who have joined who are not our customers yet. We appreciate you all, and we say that Genex is a one-stop shop for all solar energy, solar renewable energy product. You can, get our product on the website that is displayed on the screen at the moment, shop.genextechnologies.com. We also have www.genextechnologies.com, which is our website. You can reach out to us via call on this number 020129344490. So that we can be able to attend to you through those various means. So once again, we are saying thank you very much for attending this webinar, and note that this webinar is also recorded in about 2 hours before the close of business today. You have it on our website. You have it posted on our website, and you can go over it again and again. And you have other editions that we have done in the past. You have that on our website. So this is Mark saying thank you very much, and God bless you all for coming. Next month will be another time that we will be discussing another insightful topic, which we'll make available and make known to you. Thank you very much, and God bless you. Thank you.